Welcome to Bonehead Weekly. Now, we've got some new listeners. Our last episode, I can't say it, believe I just said, our last episode's actually doing really well. In search of, James, I got to give you credit. I didn't know how that would go, but I think when you tag Unsolved Mysteries on all of the things you post, that would be me who did that. I think it helps. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
and then I started putting true crime on it, and I think that may have something to do with the
Little
numbers.
hashtag true crime, hashtag unsolved mystery, hashtag feminism, hashtag blessed.
So those replaced when you started putting hashtag Dolly Parton on all of our episodes, or do you still do that?
I haven't done that in a long time. I should do that. I
Okay.
forgot I even did that. Oh God, I'm brilliant. So I do say that to say we've had several new listeners over the last few months because we've been really lucky of having a lot of exposure at these conventions that they've been good enough to let Bonehead Weekly not only pass out our goods and services, but also just to people who say, "Oh, you do this," and it's like, "Yeah, we do this with my two best friends." So I know Tiffany. I think we gave a shout out to Eileen last week. I know Jake's had some. We've had a ton of people over the years. So I do want to encourage people to not only just send messages to me. I don't mean that in a bad way, but just go on Bonehead Weekly on the Facebook page so the other two can see it as well. And if you have thoughts or feelings about that, you can please post them. And if you have ideas about shows, we'd like to hear it, right? Because sometimes we get in arguments and we got a couple of big guests coming up that we're trying to get hammered down as far as dates go. But we always are looking for a slew of ideas. So please reach out and let us know however you'd like to do so that we all three can see it.
Yeah,
Right, all of
yeah,
my gooch?
yeah.
Or sounds good
And
to me.
Saz Shazbot. Sorry, that
Shazbot.
was very serious. Now, Chad, you had something that was going to talk about now.
No, it was just I was gonna. So our topic today are movies that take place in the woods. Thank you, James. For James came up with several
That
top.
was Chad.
James came up. James has been coming up with quite a few topics lately because my well has runneth dry. So we
No,
always joke.
they make an ointment for that.
Drier than Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, I don't
Do you think
understand.
Oscar? Oh, never mind. You're talking about his humor.
In the fields of barley,
You're talking about Oscar Wilde's humor being
in
dry.
the fields of barley, Sting sang about it. Dry.
But when I was looking up,
Dust blows off him. Go ahead, Chad.
All
I'll,
we are is dust
I
in
we
the
usually
West.
have to wait for you to peter out. So go ahead.
I'm done. Okay, that was funny.
Yeah, that's good.
Look at you.
No,
What of you was funny?
Every blue moon I get a shot.
um.
Yeah.
So you know, I do when we come up with these topics. I come about a different approach than I don't know. James, you've never discussed it. Me and Joe have discussed it at length, and I just come up with the ones that like come up in my head. I go through every movie I can think of, and then Joe does what does he call it? Pump prime the pump, and he gets
It
online
is.
and looks
I
up.
stole it from Nicholas Meyer. Nicholas Meyer is a fantastic writer, but he always says my pump needs to be primed a little bit.
Yeah.
And
So
I sometimes have ideas and I want to do things, but a lot of times my pump needs to be primed.
yeah, so he'll Google things and look up list of movies, and that's how he comes up with his. Um, but I came up with my list, and
Yes.
then I did something I usually don't do. I got online and looked and just typed movies in woods because I felt like I was missing something.
Movies of wood.
Movies that take place in the woods, movies where the conflict happens in a forest setting,
Yeah.
and all the ones that were coming up, I was getting irritated because I felt that it was not properly labeled correctly, or and then the ones that I put on my list weren't even mentioned, and I was getting frustrated. So my question to you all, I don't know what you picked for your list. As people who listen to our show, we don't know what each other picks. We kind of like that um, surprise factor in our conversation. But what I was
Mhm.
seeing a lot were movies that take place in the jungle, not the forest. Are we making that distinction?
Huh. That's a good point because you could use movies like The Predator, which
But
I
that's
would
a
think. is
It's
more
a
of a jungle film. Yeah.
jungle.
Yeah, more than like and I'm reason I'm by the way picking examples that I don't think either one of you are going to pick. So we could use movies like The Predator that takes place in the jungle, whereas I think you're probably right. Like the sequence with the Ewoks and Endor on Return of the Jedi is much more of a forest movie part
Look,
of the
Forest
movie.
movie. Yeah, I think that's a good example of a movie. One that absolutely drove me shit. I haven't been this irritated than when we were looking up movies about our Chekhov's gun topic. Was The Thing made several lists?
That's not in the forest.
Exactly. That's my thing.
You
And
know
it even
what?
says it even says in
Look
the
what he did there.
I didn't even mean to do it.
Look what he
You, you,
did.
you know, the problem is, Chad, those people can't see the forest for the trees.
I knew it. I was waiting, just waiting and
Hey, at least
waiting.
I didn't do the DeForest Kelly joke.
Yeah,
That's the problem at the beginning of Star Trek Five. See, you can't see DeForest for the trees.
because when we originally came
That
up with
takes place
this,
in the forest.
The beginning, yeah.
That's a
yeah.
national park.
So when we came up with this topic originally, as soon as James came up with it, I immediately said, "Yes, I have another. I have another reason to talk about one of my underappreciated films, Gunman." But that's a jungle. It's not a forest. So I don't know. I was just irritated by doing that research and finding that on many lists, the overwhelming majority of films were jungle based and not forest
Oh, what's your first pick?
based. And I didn't know if that's how you all went with your list.
No, I
My
didn't
first
really.
pick. Uh,
I have a completely different complaint about it.
okay. Well, I'll tell you what my first pick was.
You don't want me to tell you about my complaint?
No, go ahead.
Most
Yeah,
of them
go
are
ahead,
horror
Portnoy.
films.
What?
It's really hard to get movies that aren't horror films. Almost all the lists are just inundated with horror films.
None of mine are horror.
Well, but most you have to have seen most of those lists just have a
Mhm.
ton. I mean, and I get why,
Yeah.
and I'm going to probably pick a few because I mean I have to, but
Yeah.
that was my complaint. It wasn't really a complaint. Before we started recording, I was thinking I could do two different shows on forest movies. We could literally do 45 minutes on forest horror films.
Yeah.
And
Agree.
then we could do a whole other
Could-
episode about jungle creature features,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
could. Okay,
Same here.
go ahead, Chad. I just wanted to
No,
get my now I'll be quiet.
no. So the first one that came up on my list was based on and I don't know if you two had this experience. Both of my kids had to do this. So I assume it's just an elementary staple of one of these required reading books that you have to do for school and write reports on, which I hated every single one I ever had to do, except this one. This is the only book where they said you have to read it, and I enjoyed it. And the movie is called, oh shit, my stupid list.
You,
A Cry in the Wild, which is based on the book Hatchet.
hmm
Yeah, yeah.
So
I
go ahead.
we talked about it the other day.
You did?
You did.
I don't remember this
It wasn't on the
conversation.
episode. It was in real life.
Oh, I don't remember it at all. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
we talked about this the other day. Yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, no. And we got to watch A Cry in the Wild after reading Hatchet in elementary school, which I was actually impressed that the movie follows the book that faithfully. I really did enjoy reading this book as a kid.
I remember watching the movie, but I actually don't remember the book at all. I don't remember actually I remember watching the book movie in elementary school, and I don't remember reading the book. Now that
See,
could be because I was a crappy student too.
yeah, the things that and it was honestly, this was the first book that I ever read where it dealt with a boy dealing with a dead body. And also too the scene where he's going through the cave and he gets attacked by a porcupine
hmm
and all the vivid details of him pulling the quills out. It really stuck with me, that book, for a while. And if you're not familiar with either the movie Cry in the Wild or Hatchet, it's about this boy who comes from a divorced family. He has some problems, nothing too bad, but he goes on a trip. And his before he leaves, his mother gives him this hatchet. And then the plane ends up crashing, and it's him surviving in the wilderness with just his hatchet. I really did enjoy this book, and I enjoyed the movie. It does star Jarrett Rushton as the lead character. If you're a child of the '80s, you know Jarrett Rushton
I'd have to see
from
his face.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He was the bully brother. He was in
Yeah.
Overboard. He was the best friend in Big. I mean, he had a solid career in the '80s. Um, but yeah, I when we when we came when he James sent this topic, it came up gunman, and then then I could talk about Hatchet. Yes, I never. I was like,
I've got to be the English education nerd for. Have you read any of the sequels?
no,
Okay,
The
so just
plane goes
FYI,
down
if
again.
no,
no, he takes a person back, right? I did read the sequel book. I
the
read one
river.
book.
The
Yes,
River came out in 1991, and that's about him returning to the wilderness to show his survival strategies to someone from the military because they
yes,
couldn't figure out how this kid survived. My favorite one, because a lot of people love the book. By the way, Hatchet is ranked number 23 on the all-time list of top 100 children's novels. So it is good. Um, but my favorite one is called Brian's Winter because basically, if you read Hatchet, his concern is winter's coming and all he has is a hatchet. He can't
right.
cut wood fast enough with it. He can't, and he gets saved right before winter hits. And a lot of people love the book, but enough people also said, well, that's kind of a cop out. Like he survives, and it's amazing that he survives, but it's also you pull him out before he would really have to survive. So the author, who is Gary Paulson, wrote Brian's Winter, and it's the what if he wouldn't have escaped. So it picks up where the first novel ends and does. It's not considered like the official sequel is River, but he wanted to say, well, okay, let me give you what would have happened to it. And then Brian's Hunt was released in 2003, and it's different. He's actually older and he's out canoeing and he finds a wounded dog, and it's about helping this animal survive and things like that. And then the last book in the series is actually the stories behind what inspired Hatchet, and it's called Guts: The True Stories Behind Hatchet. So there you go. But
Yeah.
it's Gary Paulson. All of those books are worth reading if you like survival stories and things like that, and definitely if you like the woods. So there
And by
you
the
go.
way, to our viewers and listeners, if you start the conversation of books you had to read as a kid and go, Chad, what about The Secret Garden? Fuck The Secret Garden.
What?
Hated that book. And
I
then
never read it.
I've seen the movie, and I have seen 3 theatrical productions of the fucking thing.
Is it what's killing the what is it? Is it tuberculosis, polio? What is it?
They never diagnose it, but he gets better at the end.
They turned him into a newt. He
So
got
he's
better.
obviously not polio or tuberculosis because he gets
Well,
out
I
of the
mean,
chair.
Well,
technically,
some
my
people
uncle
did
had
get past it.
polio and
Some
didn't
people, yeah,
recover.
yeah.
I mean, he died at 68, but he recovered from polio at about 4. So, I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I honestly have blocked it out of my head. I the
no,
last time.
Chad, I've seen probably the same films you saw, the adaptations, all that stuff, and I still don't remember what the illness was.
Straight up,
and
never
and
read it, never watched it.
and I don't want to read the bridge. I don't want to watch or read the Bridge to Terabithia ever again. So there,
Did see that
I
movie.
never had to read that. I saw the movie, but I never had to read it. But I
I
know
had
a
to.
lot of people did, and they ruined the ending for me.
I hated that. I hated. See, I hated Scarlet Letter. I had to
Oh,
get
see,
Cliff.
Scarlet Letter is fun because
I had to
that's
get the. I had to get
she
the Cliff Notes. I didn't understand what I was reading.
she goes into the woods apropos of this conversation because that she's cast out by the Puritans,
Yeah.
so she has to go to the woods. But she's such a fine seamstress that everybody wants her work, which is a moral in and of itself.
Hmm.
Till her supposedly dead husband shows up.
Hmm.
Who's next?
I'm going to go next. Mine is one I did a Scarefest review, and I can't remember if one of you all recommended this to me or not. And for some odd reason, I think Chad may have, but I may be misremembering this. It's a low budget film that nobody ever heard of that came out in 2020. It's called Hunter x Hunter. Chad, did you recommend this to me?
I did.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
It's good. It
Mm-hmm.
suffers from its low budget a little bit because there's certain things, and I'm assuming Chad agrees with this, that it just
Yeah.
doesn't quite pull off because it never quite had the money, right?
Right.
And
Right.
Devon Sawa was the other guy, but
Yes.
not. But the lady's fantastic in it.
And oh, what's his name?
Well,
Uh, I'm blanking on the guy's name. Oh my God. He
that
he was in
starring in it, Samuel
Carnival.
Summer How Nick Stahl. Nick Stahl is
Nick
really good in
Stahl.
it. Nick
Yes,
Stahl's
thank
really good.
you.
So
Oh,
basically, what it is this guy, this couple, they live and their daughter, they live out in a remote cabin in the woods, and they don't like being around people. And then this guy shows up who's hurt, and they
they're
take him in,
they're what you
and
call off the grid.
they're off the grid, and they take him in. And I just, by telling you any more, it doesn't it kind of ruins the gut punch of a kind of a movie it is. I don't,
Yeah, because I remember
even
I
if you see it coming, you sit there and go, God, I hope I don't see this coming.
yeah,
Right? It's
yeah.
it's rough. It's a rough movie, but but it's really well acted. Nothing against Devon Sawa. It's just the other two are so fantastic in it. It's hard. It is a really good movie. If you can ever check it out, I don't want to tell you more. It takes place, like I said, in the woods. Hunter x Hunter. The third act, trigger warnings with some just. It's not even because it's bloody or anything. It's
It's
just
just
real
graphic.
violence.
Yes.
It's real violence and what really bad violence does to people. And good for her for getting back at somebody. That's all I'll say. All right. Is it James next?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go in a different direction. Y'all both, and as I normally say, we're pop culture, and I want to.
Uh. Novel and film.
That's true. You're right. You're right. No, no. I mean, not in
Are
front
you
of
going
you,
to do
Chad.
20 minutes on Dreamcatcher now?
No, no. I'm not gonna do. I'm going to go in a completely different direction that we don't touch on too many times in episode, and I'm going to go with music because I will argue there is a story about the woods, a song, if you will, about the woods that
The
has
Wreck of
been
the Edmund
used.
Fitzgerald.
That's not about woods. That's about a river
I
and a
Oh,
know.
boat.
I'm just being a
J-
smart ass.
James, real
Yeah.
quick. I don't want to deviate from yours, but I do want to say something because since Joe mentioned Hunter x Hunter, which I didn't even think about mentioning, the lead actress in that film, the one that Joe was talking about,
She's really good.
but it's bugged me for years. I've never looked it up. She's the female. She's one of the female leads in the one of the great Letterkenny spinoffs, Shoresy. And every
Oh,
time I see her on screen, I'm like, who the fuck is she? Who the fuck? It turned out she's the lead from Hunter x Hunter.
I need to watch the rest of the seasons of that. Okay, cool. I did not.
James.
But so I'm going to go with the song, and the reason I'm going to go with the song is that it's been used in multiple ways, and it does indeed involve the woods. And gentlemen, I think we can all agree that if you go into the woods today, you better go in disguise. If you go into the woods today, you're in for a big surprise because the teddy bears have their picnic. Now, hear me out on this because as I
Uh,
was sitting there, I'm like, I
No, I
will
actually
get
think it's a good
lambasted
idea. I think
and
we have
I,
listen. I think we
I,
have
raised.
listeners that'll be
s-
excited about it.
I seriously want to drive to your house now. Just ring the doorbell, have you open it, and just kick you in the nuts and drive back home.
No,
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 I
listen to
actually
me.
think he's right. I think we have
Here's my
listeners.
argument about this.
I am actually trying to support
That
him, but he keeps
song
cutting me off.
has been no, I'm just trying to make my point. That song has been adapted to so many different purposes, and let me give you some examples. If you actually listen to the lyrics, listen to what it's saying. You can't go as a human, or you will be punished. You have to go in disguise. There's this idea that there's a mix of it's safety because they're teddy bears, right? What are they going to do to you? But there's also this threat. There's a strangeness about it, and it can only happen in the woods. And that has been used in so many different horror, or not only horror, but thriller adaptations. The open season uses a character singing it as a threat. Um, there's actually a promo for the film The Hike where they use Teddy Bear's Picnic playing in the background. There's a horror short directed by Thomas Hodge called Teddy Bear's Picnic that goes into what happens if you go to the wood and get attacked by bears. As early as 1935, there's a short called A Cartoonist Nightmare where Teddy Bear's Picnic is used as a horror theme. It's the idea that he doesn't belong there, that there's bad things going on. There have been tons of uses of this in trailers, in movies, even in novels to get across to the audience that it seems safe, but something's not right about it. And as I thought about it, as I went through the thing, lyrics for it, and I read them, I'm like, yeah, it's a very creepy song. It seems low key and it's fun, and I can remember being taught it when I was in elementary school. But again, that emphasis that you have to be in disguise, that you're not supposed to be there, there is something that works really well and genuinely creepy about the song Teddy Bear's Picnic. So
Mhm.
honestly, it wasn't what I thought of when I thought of this topic, but I was like, oh, the more I thought of it, it's a pop culture element that we were probably all taught in grade school, or at least heard somewhere, that is really this weird, creepy kind of thing that's been used in a lot of movies, television shows, and books. Yes, Chad.
No, no, I just got excited about something.
Was it not Teddy Bear's Picnic?
No, I hate that song.
Is it because it creeps you out because you have to go in disguise? What do the teddy bears know about you, Chad? What
It
did they
is
see you do?
it is one of the most annoying songs I can.
No, that's John Jacob Jingleheimer Schmidt. I'm sorry, you've got it confused.
No, that's my name too.
How about This Is a Song That Never Ends?
No, that's I prefer it. It goes on and on. That's why I like it.
Hmm, redundancy.
Okay.
My pick.
Yeah, I think I've honest to goodness lost track.
So
If them bloody teddy bears getting to you.
again, this falls into the category of I don't know what James's thoughts are on this movie. This is a movie that Joe and I loved,
Loathed.
loved as children.
Loafed. I just wanted
And
to add another L word. And all I could think of was loaf. Is it
and
coming
then
in a loaf? Is it sliced?
Yeah.
and then we watched it in adulthood and we're like, man, this what were we thinking as children? But I still have a fondness for it, even though I know watching it now it's terrible. So at their best, they're the worst. You've got the wrong guys.
I did love it as a kid. It's over there on the shelf. I need
Yeah,
to watch it again, but I know I'll just be disappointed.
Why don't we
yeah.
do a two movie thing? Do Wrong Guys and follow it with Tough Guys.
Okay. And
Okay.
then we can do Real Men with Jim Belushi and John Ritter,
Oh my God, that movie's almost unwatchable.
where the aliens show up at the end because they
Yeah,
just want a glass of water.
yeah.
Spoiler
Oh,
alert.
So they're obviously not the aliens from that M Night
And
Shyamalan
then if
man.
we want to keep doing really bad 80s films, we follow it up with that one where John Travolta and that one dude go to Russia and it's the 50s town.
oh, that's the movie that ruined his career for a while until Pulp Fiction.
Oh, yeah, I mean, well, yes.
I can't
I
remember the name
can't
of it.
it's a thing. Google it.
And it stars Kelly Preston too. That's how they met, I
I
think.
think so.
No, so if you're not familiar with The Wrong Guys, a lot of people don't. I will say this. Yeah, Joe bought it and then we watched it together. Like, man. But you can watch it for free on the Roku channel, which that's
That
what I
and
was
Care
smiling.
Bears 2 with the cousins and Darkheart. Those two movies just don't hold up like I loved them as a child.
No, yeah, no. But the
Oh,
animation in the Care Bears is so good though, too.
is it?
In the Care Bear 2. I thought it was.
I don't know. I haven't watched
So
it.
you'll trash Teddy Bear's Picnic, but you'll have no problem supporting
It
Care Bears
has
too.
the Care Bear
There's
cousins in it.
I
The
had
yes.
ones in F and B.
the
Bear. Be
is it
there.
Ironheart? Is that the elephant?
You know, Ironheart's the lion, Joe James.
Oh, who's the
Joe
elephant?
James. Go, Joe James.
I don't remember James. I don't remember.
Huh.
I like the
Really looking
monkey.
at you, Joe James.
Um, but no, the wrong guys. It has such a packed cast.
Well, they're all
Uh,
famous comedians.
yeah. So and Louis Anderson again, rest in peace. Richard Lewis, soon to rest in peace. Uh, Richard Belzer, Franklin AJ, and of course, again, one of those ones I would love to get for the show, Tim Thomerson as the surfer dude.
Can I stop for a
But
second? I don't think most people now know, even if they know Tim Thomerson, they don't know that Tim Thomerson was a stand-up comedian.
yeah,
I don't know that I knew it.
yeah.
And probably.
Same thing with Craig T. Nelson. Nobody knew he just started when stand up either.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, also too, Brian James again, R.I.P. One of my favorite character actors. John Goodman, Ernie Hudson.
I forgot Ernie Hudson was in it.
And Jonathan Brandis. But what this is, it's about this group
Did
of
anybody survive this picture except Ernie Hudson?
Tim Thomerson's still around. So is Richard Belzer. No, Richard Belzer's dead.
Belzer's dead, dude.
Franklin AJ's still around.
Okay. 3 people. And he was amazing in Deadwood.
I love Franklin AJ.
He's a great actor, but I can't say his character's name on here from Deadwood.
No. But no. So yeah, it's about this Boy Scout troop of really close friends. And then years later, they're adults and they decide to come back together for a camping trip. And of course, all the people have changed except for the one kid who's played by Louis Anderson, and he lives with his mom, and he's all goody two shoes. But then you have Richard Belzer, who's like the sleazy kind of business type man. Franklin AJ, who's just Franklin AJ. He's just this guy who's excited to be with his friends. Tim Thomerson, who's a dumb surfer, and Richard Belzer, who's like this uppity businessman now who doesn't want to be out in the woods. And while they're out in the woods,
Richard Lewis.
That's what I just said. Did I say Richard Lewis?
You said something Belzer, and then I don't know. It
I
doesn't
might
matter.
have said Belzer twice, but Lewis plays the uppity businessman. But yeah, then they get into the woods and hijinks ensue. So I had to talk about the wrong guys because a lot of people don't remember this film, especially those who weren't around in 1985.
I agree. All right. So it's funny. My second one's a comedy too, In the Woods.
Okay.
It took place in the 80s. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it because I don't care that it's around a lake. It's also, they shot it in an actual woods.
It's the woods. The lakes are located around woods.
It is the great outdoors. A year or two ago, my son found out about the late great John Candy, and we watched Uncle Buck and a couple of things, and it led just down a rabbit hole. And out of all those movies, Uncle Buck and The Great Outdoors, I bet he's watched a half a dozen, I'm not exaggerating, a half a dozen times apiece. Uncle Buck is not, I appreciate it more than I did when I was younger, just simply because that's a movie that John Candy keeps together, right? If it wasn't John Candy in that role, you'd be like, oh, this is a little too saccharine sweet. But The Great Outdoors, I remember seeing it in the theater with my mom and at the Fugate Cinema, and I think I've talked about this before, and there was some big fat guy behind me with a big old beard just laughed and just drowned out the movie, but it was awesome. 1988, if you've never seen The Great Outdoors, it is John Candy and Dan Aykroyd, and John Candy is just an everyday man, an everyman man, and he takes his family to a vacation up in the woods at a cabin near a lake that he and his wife vacationed at when they were, or honeymooned at. And then his a-hole brother-in-law, Roman, played by the late, great Dan Aykroyd. I'm joking.
Don't you say that. Don't you say that.
Don't you put that on me, Ricky Bobby.
Don't you bring that evil to me, Ricky Bobby.
And
that
he's basically up there to hit him up for money, and it's just there. And there's raccoons who have subtitles, and there's a bear who gets his ass shot off. It's just funny. It's a funny movie.
Gristle.
Gristle, the 86er, which is a thing now at a lot of steakhouses. If you can eat the whole steak. My kid and I can sit there, and we haven't watched it we watched it sometimes at dinner in the wintertime, but it actually helped him read because he wanted to read the curse words of the raccoons. I just like the movie, and it has it is not great art like John Candy was in a lot of movies that aren't fantastic, but
I swear to God, you badmouth Who's Harry Crumb.
I wonder how bad that is. I haven't seen it in so long.
I still enjoy it. It's terrible, but I love it to death.
Because it's him. Because of him. Right?
It's probably kind of like my attachment to Silence of the Hams is linked to Dom DeLuise.
Well, no, because look, Andy Potts is great in it. Oh, the actor whose name we cannot mention because he's an awful person.
Jeffrey Combs? I mean,
yeah,
not Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones. We can mention his name. He's good in it. He's a good actor.
Yes, and the great Tim Thomerson.
I forgot Tim Thomerson was in that. He's the boyfriend. He's the D-bag boyfriend with Annie Potts.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, Great Outdoors. Check it out. James. What?
By the way, I guess knowing our listeners, we do need to mention Shawnee Smith is in it as well.
Who was wonderful to me and had nothing but wonderful things to say about John Candy after we did her Saw panel a few years ago at Scarefest.
Hmm.
And she is just as adorable, and I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. She is adorable, about 5'1", 5'2", and that's not an act. She's really that nice. Sorry, just wanted to say something positive about her, and she had just wanted to glow about John Candy and how wonderful he was to her.
Hmm.
She was in
Sorry.
Becker too, right? With Ted
He was in
Danson.
Becker, yeah, with Ted
I
Danson.
I enjoyed that show, by the way. I don't know
He's also
why.
in the really good version of The Blob. The
Yeah.
remake is superior to the original. The original has a wonderful, sentimentality to it, or what's that
Yeah,
word?
yeah. It's
I
got
can't.
Steve McQueen.
It's got Steve McQueen in it, but yeah. Anyway, James,
Franklin AJ, by the way, played Samuel Fields in Deadwood. Just FYI.
that's not what they
Uh,
called him in
That's not
Deadwood.
what they call him.
I know. I'm telling you what his character name was, according to what we can say. Samuel Fields, and if you say the other one, you're a bad person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if you've not seen Deadwood, go watch that before you watch any of the
I
shit we
still
just
say,
told you to watch.
and seriously, Franklin AJ was a good comic, but he is an underappreciated actor.
He's a
He
good
has
character actor. Yeah,
he has some range that never got utilized right.
that's
You may
true.
remember him as Lillian's dad in Bridesmaids.
I do
Oh
know.
yeah.
Anyway. Gentlemen, I have to go with another song, and it's because it's only going to work for us because of who we are, but it is a popular song that was made even more popular by that Nirvana the kids like so much. In the Pines.
In the pines, in the pines, where
Uh,
the sun never shines.
Fuck, I'm getting my fucking keys.
Where's he getting his? Where? What?
Because he's mad. I don't know
Does
why he's
does,
mad.
does,
How can
does
you
his
not?
wife Christy have him just tied
Oh,
down to literal ball and chain?
oh my
I
God.
don't know. Why does he get mad at me
I, I,
picking songs? In
I
the
I'm
want
glad
Pines.
you do songs. You do you. You let your
I
freak flag fly,
Think
sir.
about what it's saying as a setting and think about how many different ways it's been performed, right? It's a place of loss.
Yes.
It's a place of unknown, right? Where have you been?
Or just
What's going?
coolness and darkness.
Yeah, there's danger, there's emotional loss, there's
my
Yes.
emotional disconnection, and
He's
depending on who you hear perform it, be it
If you're
Lead
listening
Belly.
to this right now, Chad has picked up his gizmo that he keeps, that the doctor basically prescribed him to hold and snuggle with.
It's
Said it
sorry,
was a
my cat
doctor.
just attacked
That guy had a
my
white coat.
uh, well, it's
Could have,
lashed around
hold
the
on, this is
shoulders,
rude time. Like, could have been Jesus making memes.
uh,
the only other two things within reach is my Penguin Batman Returns cup from
You need
McDonald's
to reach back behind you and pick up Brendan Ralph. You know you want to.
and this.
Nakatomi, never forget. But
Uh, for those who don't know, I am holding a scale a replica of Nakatomi tires from Die Hard. So
um,
Bastard.
but depending on what version you listen to of it, because again, Lead Belly did it, but it's an old blues song that has been adapted to folk music, country music. Later, rock and roll did it. Obviously, Nirvana did it. But there's versions of it that talk about how people disappear, how people don't come back, how there's secrets in the woods, about how there's boundaries you shouldn't be crossing. And so, if you're not familiar with the song, and the reason it also came into my mind was two individuals we know may have been heavily intoxicated and screeching it in the back of a van once. It's the chorus, so to speak, is in the pines where the
it
sun
never
never shines.
shines.
And then the question is always, where did you sleep last night? And the response is in the pines. And so there is also this element. It's been used as a song about the supernatural because who sleeps in the pines, pine boxes, etc. So there's been versions of it that play into that. And so this idea of the woods in this song, in Teddy Bear's Picnic, it's about the animals in the woods. In the pines, the woods themselves are doing something, right? It's really much um, the sun never shines, the wind howls, all of these things happen in the pines. And so I think it's just a really cool, and matter of fact, I'll be honest, don't come at me, Nirvana fans. I don't think their version's the best. Actually, I think Leadbelly's gravelly voice captures something from way back in the day pretty well. And so I think you have to bring up In the Pines for a similar reason that I brought up Teddy Bear's Picnic. There's something about these songs involving the woods and something not being right there that work really well. And so that song has been used in horror movies and documentaries and a lot of different songs, a lot of unsolved mysteries. Hashtag Joe. Uh, really have, I mean, there's been episodes of these shows about people that disappear and they find their bodies later in the woods where they'll play snippets of In the Pine. And so I think when I had no plans. I have a list of movies I've thought about doing. I had some books I was going to do. But in both these cases, I was like, oh, I was watching a true crime thing last week. And sure enough, they used In the Pine about the disappearance of these two girls that were later found in the woods. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's a really good woods theme that I can use for the episode. So again, bringing it true to pop culture, Teddy Bear's Picnic and In the Woods were my first two picks, but I would argue they're very much still present in pop culture today, even though both of them are closing in on 100 years old.
Yeah. All right, Jed, bring us home.
Yeah, so my last one, it was between two films, and these are two films I genuinely love and have a personal attachment to. But I've mentioned them both on the show before, which I don't usually like to repeat myself over and over again, but um I finally decided to choose this one just because out of the two it's a little more fun. Uh I got to go with one of my favorite movies from 2019, Get Duped,
Oh,
which you
that's good.
which you can find on Prime. It's a Prime original movie, Amazon original movie. Uh, I highly recommend everybody check out Get Duked if you have Amazon Prime. It really is a remarkable, silly film. If you're not familiar with it, it's based around this actual thing called the Duke of Edinburgh Award Trek, and it's basically where they take all these kids from the city
Oh, I
and
remember now. Yeah, I forget. Get duped. Yes. For some
Get
odd
duped.
reason, I thought you were saying get duped.
no,
No,
Okay.
Billy Connolly.
Yeah, with Billy Collins. Yeah. Hello.
somebody's got to explain that one to me. I don't know what that meant, but
I don't know what he meant either. I actually
uh,
forgot. But get duped. Yes.
um, but yeah, they're forced to go into the woods and complete this walk through the woods, and if they complete it, they get a certificate. And it's about these four boys from the cities of Scotland who are just wannabe rappers who are plain and simple, not bright at all. But suddenly they get thrust into what is the greatest game? Is that what it's called? What is the greatest game?
What? No, they get thrust into the
The
most
most
deadly
dangerous
game.
game.
The most
Dangerous
dangerous game. Thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Where they are being hunted. One of the villains is Eddie Izzard, who does a remarkable job. Which I guess he's not Eddie Izzard anymore, is he?
Sounds like
He's
Janice. I'm not being a
yeah,
smart ass. It's something
no.
like that.
But yeah,
Susie. Susie, by the way.
I
Susie.
wasn't being. I wasn't. But I was,
No,
yeah.
and he does go by Susie Eddie Izzard. So
Okay.
you're in the clear. He
But
has
no,
said before.
Yeah,
it
because
is
he's going to track us down.
it is genuinely funny. There are some horrific scenes in it. Um, I am a fan of this director, Ninian Doff. I would like to see this was his first movie. He has another one coming out where it's about a woman stuck in an endless parking garage. I am fascinated by just that plot alone. I want to see what happens with that movie. But yeah, no, Get Duped. I won't take as much time as I have with the other two. I highly recommend checking it out. It is a crazy, insane film. So
Do you know who one of the producers is on that, Chad? Seriously?
no,
Toby Maguire. Toby
Real
Maguire was one of the he's one of the four producers. Yes. So credit to Toby Maguire for helping get that out into the world.
wow, did not know that.
All
Yeah.
right, I'm having a really hard time because Chad said I was trying to go between one or two, and hopefully we'll do one round of at least some.
Yeah, I've got some honorable mentions.
I've got two honorable mentions that
But
I'd like
I'm
to talk.
having. Sorry, I'm having a hard time. But as much as I want to say one whole series, one of the best movies to ever use the woods is the Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to, I want to say something else. Actually, there's two other ones I want to say, but one of the best movies to actually use the woods is the Blair Witch Project. And if you've never seen the Blair Witch Project, I'm not sure I mean, there's probably some of you out there actually who are familiar with it, but actually haven't seen the movie.
It's
I
one
still,
of It's one of 4 movies that's ever given me a nightmare.
I still stand by it. I'll always stand by it. I always stand by the Book of Shadows one because I like that they try to do something different with it, and I don't think anybody got the nobody really got it, which is cool. That's fine. And Blair Witch Project is about some filmmakers that go in the wood to make a documentary about a bullshit Blair Witch, and there it happens, and that's what happens. And it's just a good movie, and it was so different, and it's so weird, and the fact that it exists is amazing. I got to meet the cast a couple years ago. They were nice enough, and I think they've, with their age, have embraced it. Whereas at the time, because it was such, if you weren't alive, I guess it was 99. That we also, because we went through that in the year of 99.
Yeah,
If
I
you
think
weren't
so.
alive, it's just hard to explain
Yeah.
a cultural phenomenon that was because it used the internet and that
Yeah.
was such a new thing. So I just Blair Witch Project is one of the best movies to utilize successfully the woods and the woods being a character.
Agreed.
Okay.
Is it me wrapping this
Yes.
up?
Yeah,
I'm going to
wrap
go
us
with
up.
one. This has been everything from obviously a book, a television show, multiple films. Joe's sick of it. Um, it's been adapted to horror even, and that's Robin Hood. And you don't have Robin Hood without Sherwood Forest.
That's true.
Yeah.
Uh, because
Although they
Sherwood
don't use it enough in some of the movies, but
No,
yeah.
in a lot of the movies they don't. Matter of fact, actually, I'll argue the Disney film does a better job of using it than some of the live
I,
action.
Oh
I was
shit,
gonna say
yes.
I was gonna say the only one who really used it was Kevin Costner's version.
Yeah, there is somebody that
Yeah.
I mean, you get glimpses of it being a key part of the story in
Russell Crowe.
nope,
You
the
haven't
original
John
Uh,
guy.
Caesar.
oh, I was gonna say,
Errol Flynn. Because he brings
uh,
in the deer, right? He brings in, so he had to get the deer somewhere, and they make a line about it being, and obviously the reason they did it that way is they didn't want to film in the woods because that would
somebody
have been really hard.
who you wish could be wiped away it, his credits to cinema. Errol Flynn, true
I
scumbag.
He's a scumbag. He's talented.
He's talented, and that movie still holds up. I don't care what you
Yeah,
say. And matter of fact, actually,
I
if you
agree.
read the newest version of his autobiography, it has a new introduction by somebody, and I forget who it is. But they actually say he makes himself even worse in his autobiography than people that actually knew him said. No, he played it up even to make himself look worse, because he was such a bad addict at that point in his life when he wrote the book. Anyway, um, but yeah, I think it's. I wanted to do something, as Joe said, that wasn't a horror movie or anything like that because those are the most common ones. And I just thought Robin Hood. I mean, it's such a big, Robin Hood and his merry men in Sherwood Forest, and it's the idea that where can this person who is being arguably wrongly said to be a criminal when really he's just trying to support the true king, where can he go? It's only the forest. He has to hide in the forest. He has to use the forest to defend himself, and there he finds others that have been cast out and creates the merry men and et cetera, et cetera. And so I do think it's one of the great example of the woods not being used in a horrific or cast out identity, even though he is cast out, but he makes the woods his home and he uses it to protect others in that environment. And so I couldn't not bring up Sherwood Forest, even though y'all are often tired of Robin Hood and I mean I'd like the only way I'd like to see it again is if they do something new with it, but I do love the character of Robin Hood as a classic character. So I had to bring up Sherwood Forest and there you go. But I have a ton of honorable mentions, but I'll let y'all go first.
Chad,
Um, I don't, Joe. I'm not gonna try. I don't want
okay,
to steal this one from you, but I'm gonna say it and
that's
apologize.
fine.
The Evil Dead.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, what
Yeah,
else?
yeah,
I mean, where else are you going to get a rapey tree?
yeah. That's Evil Dead. Joe, me and Joe watched this film for. This was one of our Halloweens before James got involved. When it got entwined in our Halloween
Yep,
get-togethers. The Hallow.
that's been a long time.
It's been a long time, and I
I
don't
don't
remember.
remember it.
and that's why I didn't talk about it because I don't remember anything about the fucking thing.
Don't either.
And then the movie that debated on talking about in my top three to replace Get Duked was The Hunt for the Wilder People,
Hmm.
which is, in my opinion, Taika Waititi's best film.
Really?
Yes,
Over Jojo Rabbit?
yes,
Mm.
it's close. It really is close, but I genuinely love Hunt for the Wilder People. It has all the feels. It's a great storytelling. Sam Neill is phenomenal in it, as well as the little kid actor who the name I'm blanking on.
Who went
I
on to do Santa Claus 2,
to I
Deadpool 2, all the
I
things.
yes. So yeah, I The Hunt for the Wilder People. If you've never seen it, please check that out because it is a truly amazing piece of film.
I was going to talk about the Evil Dead films, all of them except the Evil Dead Rise, which is one of the good things about Rise is it took it out of the woods, but they're all excellent and do use it well. The Cabin in the Woods, but it technically isn't woods. It's kind of woods, but it's also kind of a big, huge stage.
Hmm.
And we
Yeah.
would probably, and should rightfully so, get the shit kicked out of us if we didn't mention two really big movies, Deliverance and The Revenant.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit, there was one I was going to mention, but I'll wait for James to list
Go,
his. No,
go,
no, I'll let
cut him
James
out.
list. No, let James list his if he doesn't mention it.
So I wanted to bring up, I don't know if anybody else has seen this, but the 2013 coming of age story, The Kings of Summer. If you haven't seen it, it's a
I don't
comedy
think so.
drama. That stars Nick Robinson, Moises Arias, Gabriel Basso, and Nick Offerman. Nick Offerman plays the grieving father, but it's about these teenage boys who basically run into the woods and decide to build a home there and live off the land for a summer to see if they can do it. And that's basically the plot, but it's kind of a comedy. It does have some dramatic elements to it. If you've never seen it, it received a lot of attention, positive reviews when it came out, but it's not one that a ton of people have seen. Um, I always say this wrong when I try to say it quickly, but Princess Mononoke.
Minoki.
Minoki.
Thank you, thank you. I never can. I've heard it and can't do it right. Anyway, which is about the forest and the expansion of industrialization. So that's one. I've got to bring up First Blood, gentlemen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
First Blood is definitely one, and the last one I want to mention is a television series that has several episodes that involve the woods, and I just have to bring it up. It is, of course, Gravity Falls.
Yeah, it's
So many good woods episodes in that
so
show.
good. Oh my God, those damn gnomes.
We were actually rewatching it, and my daughter last night wanted to watch the Lilliputians episode. It looks better when you spell it out. Sorry, and the fact Patton Oswalt does the Dutch Lilliputians.
Lily
It's a
Pumpkin.
mini golf joke.
Yes.
Um, we would also be probably run away with pitchforks
They
and
said that we was
flaming torches.
hung, and
And
were
they was
wrong.
right.
No, they weren't. Is Friday the 13th, but that's not my pick. Uh, I'm surprised James didn't mention this one. I want to scream the line, but I can't because my entire family's asleep. He was licking me.
But I guess it is in the woods. You're right. But I
Yeah,
always think of it because they're at the fort a lot of the time. But you're right. I mean, the end takes place in the
it's
crazy
all
guy that stands in the river to
yeah.
prove he can take ice water.
Yeah,
You're right. It's in the
it's
woods,
wood based. Yeah, so if it, we're talking about the movie Ravenous, which if you haven't
which
seen it,
has
We were
a
talking about the
great
musical
soundtrack.
Into the Woods with
no,
It has
Meryl
a
Streep.
great soundtrack if you enjoy violin and banjo fused together.
yeah, it's
Get
one of
fiddle, if you will.
Get Fiddle. It's one of I mean that cast is stacked too. Guy Pearce,
Ah, it's great.
Jeffrey Jones, David Arquette, Robert Carlyle, for God's sakes, and Neil McDonough, and the list goes on and on and on. That is a stacked cast in Ravenous.
All right.
The Wendigos.
This has been Bonehead
Delicious.
Weekly talking about its bush.
Or woods.
Woods. Or it's woods. Woods. Multiples.
Well, there's three of us, so.
Yeah.
Well, two of us that apply.
I didn't realize that the director of that a few years before that directed that controversial film Priest. which oddly enough ripped off of Tropic Thunder ripped off.
This has been Bonehead Weekly.